This was the biggest lineup yet. 3 accordion catalogs were introduced, each coming with a novelty on one side, be it a growth chart, a maze, or a picture find. And on the reverse side were pictures of most of the new figures from this year's collection. Unlike figures from the previous 2 years, which were mostly the same molds from the figures' previous editions, but given different colored outfits, this year's figures had many new elements. Most innovational of all was the body force. The figures in this team had mechanisms in their bodies so that they could move. On the team were Billy Blazes, who swiveled at the waist to spray pretend water. Jake Justice, who swung forcefully at the waist, holding a battering ram. Gil Gripper, whose ankles bend downward as he kicks his feet to swim. Rip Rockefeller, whose free hand goes in a hammering motion as he holds a mallet. Al Pine, who has a new head and who twists and turns at the waist to mimic snowboarding moves. And Sandy Beach, who throws a life preserver and who, incidentally, is seen for the first time with sunblock smeared on his nose. Also on the same team are 4 new heroes. Ben Chopin, who moves his buzzsaw up and down. Kenny Ride, who pedals his police bicycle. Brandon Irons, a cowboy who tosses a retractable lasso. And the first ever Rescue Heroes robot, Rivet, who when he is rolled along in wheeled mode, moves his torso back and forth to scoop when he's wearing a shovel hand. The next new team was the Launch Force, of which each member shoots an object. On the team were Billy Blazes, who was given a new head mold and a whole new outfit that was made to look more like the TV show. Rocky Canyon. Roger Houston. Bob Bowie, who launched a neat new medical pack with a helicopter on top. And last but not least, a new Australian hero, Seymour Wilde. Another new team was the Night Patrol. Unlike the Night Squad, which glowed in the dark, the Night Patrol featured electronic lights. On the team were Willie Stop, Sam Sparks, Captain Cuffs, Sergeant Siren, and Aiden Assist. Later added to the team was a new character introduced in the last week of Season 2, Pat Pending, along with a new robot companion for him, Robo Helper. Other new toys that year were Bob Sled, who was shown in the Season 2 finale, Bill Barker on his ATV, as he appeared in the first episode of the season, a new version of Smokey the Fire Dog, this time wearing a fire hat and having a water cannon on his back, and a rescue eagle. Soon after, the package was changed and the eagle was given a name, Swoops. New vehicles were the Space Pod Exploration Vehicle, the 2-in-1 ultralight, which could be an ultralight, a car, a snowmobile, or a hang glider, a red helicopter, and a dune buggy with ejectable life raft. Remember the VoiceTech video technology that was used the previous year in the Aquatic Rescue Command Center? Well, now, that concept would be used for a whole new team called Video Mission VoiceTech. Each member not only talked, but they had a backpack that showed a moving image along with sound effects. On the team were all the previously released VoiceTech characters. There was Billy Blazes, Jake Justice, Jack Hammer, Wendy Waters, Rocky Canyon, and Roger Houston. Heroes new to the voice tech team were Gil Gripper, Matt Medic, Aerial Flyer and Rescue Hawk, and finally, after he had appeared on the TV show 3 years ago, Warren Waters was at last made into an action figure. Also released then was the Voice Tech Police Cruiser. On the back of 2002's accordion catalog was an ad for Rescue Heroes with Power, coming soon. Released in summer 2002, the figures on the Power Max team each had huge power tools that ran on batteries. On the team were Billy Blazes with double chopping axes, Jack Hammer with spinning power saw, Rocky Canyon with retracting hook and rope, and finally, the biggest rescue hero ever, the enormous robot URV, spelled URV, which stands for Ultimate Robotic Vehicle. URV was even the star of the next video game, Tremor Trouble.
Rescue Heroes!
Rescue Heroes! There's no time to waste. These are the rescue heroes you'll be working with. Billy Blazes. Ben Choppin. Seymour Wilde. Gil Gripper. Jack Hammer. Rocky Canyon. Alert, warning, danger. URV, the ultimate robotic vehicle.
Rescue Heroes!
We need to attach URV's grappling hook to the submarine so he can pull it to the surface.
Another new software title was Mission Masters, which plugged into Fisher-Price's new portable black and white game device, the Pixter. Later that year was released another computer game, Lava Landslide. When you beat levels, it allowed you to print pretend newspaper articles telling how you, the player, helped save the day.
Volcano Island emergency! Repeat, Volcano Island emergency! A problem with the satellite. Warren Waters to Roger Houston. Do you read me?
Loud and clear.
As mentioned earlier, Fisher-Price turned 9/11 into product ideas. The first of such was the FDNY team for the Fire Department of New York. The first figure on the team was Billy Blazes with his water cannon. All proceeds from this figure went to charity, and this figure was only sold for a limited time in limited areas in the vicinity of New York. But the rest of the FDNY team was sold commercially nationwide. On the team were Billy Blazes with his axe, a voice tech Billy Blazes that gave fire safety tips, Wendy Waters, Smokey the Fire Dog, Matt Medic, a special FDNY voice tech fire truck, and a new character, Manny Hatton. Later, a team similar to the FDNY team called the National Heroes came out. It consisted of Gil Gripper from the USCG, or United States Coast Guard, Kenny Ride from the NYPD, or the New York Police Department, and Al Pine from the NSP, or National Ski Patrol. Later added was a special version of Matt Medic. Another team instigated by 9/11 was the Special Edition Rescue Heroes, which included Billy Blazes, Jake Justice, and Matt Medic. Jack Hammer was later added. Each member of this team wore red, white, and blue clothing, as well as an American flag on their shoulder. Two versions of this team were made, one with the flag and one without the flag. All this nationalistic and commemorative fervor led up to the premiere of the third season of the TV show on September 11th, 2002, the one-year anniversary of the tragedy. This special episode took place in New York City. No references were actually made to 9/11. The episode was called Heroes, and it centered around a ceremony in Central Park in which the rescue heroes took turns telling experiences about rescue personnel they had worked with from around the globe.
New York. I love this town.
Also, there is a scene where you get to see Billy as a young firefighter before his mustache.
Wrong, my team hasn't come up. I want to help get them out.
No, it's too dangerous. Just let me know how to get to them.
See those people? Each one is waiting for a husband, a dad.
Fireball. This is not procedure, but we have no choice. Stand back. Oh, what was that? A little gadget I've been working on in my spare time.
Thank you. You know, one day I'm going to save lives too. I swear I am.
The dramatic episode closed with the words,
To all the brave men and women in the world, and right here in New York. To anyone who has risked their life so others might live to see another morning. Thank you.
As far as other episodes go that season, Jack Hammer's sister, Jillian Hammer, returns, and this time she actually becomes a member of the Rescue Heroes team. But does she really want to? Or would she rather still be with the Texas Fire Brigade?
Everyone, I'd like to present our newest graduate, Jillian Hammer.
All right. Woo, doggy. I'm as happy as a pig in slop. My little sis is a rescue hero.
Jack, she's not quite a rescue hero yet. She still has to go through probation.
My sister's a probie? That's ridiculous. Well, you watch, Billy boy. My sister will be off probation faster than an itchy suit on a summer's day.
Hey, glad to have you aboard. Although I always thought you liked working for the Texas Fire Brigade. Actually, can I talk to you? Incoming communication.
Also, Irv, the ultimate robotic vehicle, makes his television debut.
Activate fire extinguisher.
Come on, come on. Oh, doggy, I did it. So, who wants to give the ultimate rescue vehicle a go next?
I'll do
I'll
it.
try it.
I'll do it.
I do.
I do.
Avery Ader, Aerial Flyer's nemesis from her pre-Rescue Heroes days, returns, ignorant and troublemaking as ever.
What? You're flying again? After what you did to me at that air show?
They begged me to come back. What can I say?
In one of the best episodes of the series, Pat Pending reveals the new high-tech gadget-filled police cruiser, of which Jake Justice is very possessive.
Amazing! Actually, I was thinking it might be best if only I drove it. It is, after all, a police car.
I guess if you feel that strongly about it.
I do. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna take this baby out onto the real streets. Now to slow you down. Amazing! Stop right there! You have the right to remain silent.
Meanwhile, an unfortunate mishap causes fire to come out of faucets instead of water.
Air has gotten into the sewer system through a culvert. Gas and water don't mix, so the burning gas is actually floating on top of the water and moving with it. Now that the fire's made its way into a reservoir, anyone that uses that water supply might get fire instead when they turn on their faucet. I'm working on a plan to solve it now.
How long will that take?
The key word is working on a plan, Billy.
Keep me posted. Jake, Jack, I want you to police the streets.
Daddy, spray me with the water!
I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!
I'm turning off the water! Give me a sec!
The third season was also the last season, and you know what they say about final seasons. When a TV series is nearing its end and story ideas are running thin, you'll get some pretty interesting story concepts. For instance, Aerial Flyer and Rock Miner explore an ancient tomb, complete with booby traps and all.
You just saved our lives. This alkaloid reaction showed the needles were tipped with poisonous frog secretion. Rock, no! Is something leaking air? Huh? Snakes. Yaku Jerkins looks like extremely poisonous, but harmless unless we bother them. Whoa! Rock! I'm okay. I'll be up now. Huh? The wall's closing in. Whoa!
Got him, folks!
Another time, the rescue heroes try to stop an eccentric explorer from endangering himself, but at the same time, some of the team worry about an ancient curse supposedly laid on a sunken treasure.
Captain J.P. McNutty, this is rescue hero Billy Blazes. Come in, please.
The Billy Blazes? The one and only Billy Blazes?
Never heard of you. What do you want?
There's a strong possibility of an underwater earthquake. The sunken ship's unstable enough as it is.
Maybe you should have reminded him of the curse. Legend has it that the pirate, Captain Diamond Tooth, took Queen Mayatek hostage. In return for her freedom, he forced her subjects to loot their own country. The riches were loaded on the Santa Pena, and the Queen was returned. As her boat sailed away, she put a curse on the Santa Pena and its treasures.
After that, Rocky saves the life of a princess, and her father, the king, invites him to the palace and asks him to be his daughter's royal guard.
Hang on! I'm coming! Grab the line! Princess Katsina, tell us,
So, you must be Mr. Canyon.
Call me Rocky, Your Highness.
My pleasure. We'll talk more over lunch. Katsina, give our young guest a tour. Perhaps show him the royal garden.
Then, in the only episode with a dream sequence, Wendy gets knocked out and dreams that she and the team are firefighters in the olden days, before modern technology.
This locker feels like it hasn't been open in 100 years. Wendy? Sorry! Wendy! Wake up! Wendy, are you okay? You were having a nightmare.
Very funny. Where did you guys get those?
Where did we get what?
The mustaches and funny outfits.
How?
April 18th, 1906. No way! No way!
In another episode, the viewer is tricked a couple of times. For instance, why does that astronaut look like Truman Largo, the movie star from last season? Is that alien going to eat him?
What in the world? No!
Are these kids really in outer space? You'd have to see the show to understand.
Mom, I don't want beans. Can I have pie?
Finally, in the only holiday-themed episode, Rocky's upset that he has to work on Christmas, and we find out that Warren and Wendy Waters are Jewish. Quite an interesting season, I must say.
What is it, Wendy?
I keep thinking of Rocky.
I know. I remember the first time you had holiday duty. Why don't you radio in? Say hi.
I'd like that. Hey, Rocky. It's Mrs. Claus. Come in, Rocky. Do you read me? It's Wendy. That's odd. He's not answering.
I'm sure everything's fine. Look, he entered a team leader report 20 minutes ago. By now, he's probably home and sitting by a fire with his feet up.
Can anyone read me? This is Rocky Canyon. Come in. Nothing. How far away is your community?
Many, many miles.
A good theme was chosen for the very last episode of the television series, the old recurring theme of watching Rocky Canyon gradually mature. In the last episode, even though he's not yet qualified to be an official team leader, he gets another chance, and this time he does a little better.
We have 2 climbers trapped on the mountain wall, and the rocks have also derailed a train on a bridge.
Sounds pretty bad, Billy. How are you going to handle this? By following orders from our team leader, Rocky Canyon.
Me? Don't you remember? The first time I was team leader, I messed everything up.
I remember the Everest rescue, but I promised you then that when you were ready, you'd get a second chance.
You mean it? Thanks, Billy. Warren, we're on our way. Computer, locate helicopter and, Bob Bowie.
Bob Bowie? Why not Rip Rockefeller or Bill Barker?
I don't know. Bob's a member of the Hydro team.
Trust me, I have my reasons.
Subject located.
Come on, team. Let's save some lives.
But this wouldn't be the last time that you'd see the rescue heroes in action. That would have to wait until late 2003.